Good morning once again. My name is Mr. Paul Chilola, your teacher on this platform. Welcome once again. If this is the first time you are visiting the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel so that every time a new video lesson is uploaded, you become the first one to know. Welcome to Form 3 Mathematics. Alright, so this is the very first topic in your MSCE Mathematics. Welcome once again. Feel free, watch the video up to the end. Please do not skip the video. Do not just watch in bits. Make sure you watch the whole video. When you start watching a particular video, watch it up to the end so that you learn. Alright, and I'm trusting also that you have a notebook where you can scribble something. Alright, that way it will make the learning interactive. Alright, so the syllabus, your Form 3 syllabus requires you to be able to factorize quadratic expressions. Alright, it would help us to define a quadratic expression. We shall define in this lesson a quadratic expression as an algebraic expression, alright, of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright, so any expression of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is called quadratic expression. It's called quadratic expression. What makes it quadratic is the power. The highest power there is a 2. So an expression in which the highest power is a 2 is called quadratic expression. So for this to qualify as a quadratic expression, the constants a, b, and c should not be equal to 0, because there's danger there. If a is equal to 0, remember that any number multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So if a is 0, then this will collapse to 0. So that in the end you shall have bx plus c only. Alright, therefore it will no longer be a quadratic expression. So we are saying a quadratic expression is any expression of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the a, b, and the c are real numbers, and it should never be equal to 0. Should not be equal to 0. Alright, some examples of quadratic expressions include 5x squared, 3x squared, 4x squared plus 5x, x squared minus 3x, x squared minus 5, x squared minus 2x minus 3, 3x squared plus 3x minus 18. All these are quadratic expressions. You have noticed that in all the expressions given here, the highest power of x is a 2. And the coefficient of x squared should never be equal to 0, because if the coefficient of x squared is 0, then it's going to collapse to 0. Therefore, the expression will no longer be a quadratic expression. Alright, so a should never be a 0. Otherwise, you end up multiplying 0 by x squared, and then the expression will collapse to 0. Alright, so there are different kinds of quadratic expressions. we have what are called monomials. Monomials are quadratic expressions which have only one term, like 5x squared. It's one term. This is one term. Mono means one. So this is a monomial. Take note. So it's a quadratic expression, yes, but because it only has one term, which is 5x squared, therefore it's called a monomial. Another example of a monomial is 3x squared. So in this case, it means that b is equal to 0 and c also is equal to 0. Remember that the general equation of a quadratic expression is ax squared plus bx plus c. So in these monomials, it means b is 0, c is 0. When b is 0, it means you're multiplying b by x, which is going to be equal to 0, and c is 0 is also going to be collapse the whole part of the expression. So in the end, you have only ax squared. So in 5x squared, it means a is equal to 5. Similarly, in 3x squared, it means a is equal to 3. But b and c have collapsed to 0. All right, very important to note. So monomials are quadratic expressions which contain only one term. All right, by one term, we mean that the given term is not added to anything else. All right, so these are both monomials. Then we have a type of quadratic expressions called binomials. Bi means two. All right, so quadratic expressions containing two terms are called binomials. For example, 4x squared plus 3x. We have one term added to another term. This makes the expression, the whole expression, a binomial. X squared minus 5x, again, is another example of a binomial. All right? Another one is x squared minus 5. X squared minus 5 is also a binomial because we have two terms. We have x squared as one term and minus 5 as another term. So in these expressions, you see that c is 0, all right, or b is 0. For example, if you consider 4x squared plus 3x, all right, notice that there's no number here. It means the c is 0. If you consider x squared minus 5, going back to the definition of a quadratic expression, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, it means it is there's no term in x. That means b is equal to 0, so that we don't have this part. But our c is minus 5. All right, so I hope we are together there. We are looking at types of quadratic expressions. The name of the type of a quadratic expression depends on how many terms there are. If there is only one term, which is not combined to another one by either a positive or minus sign, then we call that monomial. Mono means one, and then we have binomials, in which we have two terms connected by either a positive or a negative sign. All right. Okay, I hope we are together there. Then we have quadratic expressions which contain three terms. These are called trinomials. Tri means three. All right. For example, we have this one as an example. X squared minus 2x, x squared minus 2x minus 3. since we have three terms here, x squared minus 2x minus 3, this is an example of a trinomial. Trinomial. Why trinomial? Because there are three terms. We have this term, 1, 2, 3. Another example is 2x squared plus 3x. Okay. 3x squared plus 3x minus 18. It's also another example of a trinomial. We have 1, 2, 3 terms connected together by positive and negative signs. All right, so I hope so far so good. We have looked at what a quadratic expression is and the different kinds of quadratic expressions. All right, so welcome to factorizing quadratic expressions. Welcome to factorizing quadratic expressions. So I'll take you through the techniques of factorization. For example, we have been asked to factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6. So in order to factorize an expression of this kind, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. So what you do basically is you consider the first term and the last term. All right. So you take these terms and multiply them out. For example, x squared multiplied by 6 will give you 6x squared. All right. Having done that, you split the 6x squared into two products or factors whose sum should give you the middle term. In this case, the middle term is 5x. All right, so you'd appreciate that 6x squared is just the same as 2x multiplied by 3x. If you multiply these two, you get back 6x squared. But if you add them up, if you add 2x plus 3x, you shall get 5x, which is the term in the middle here. All right. Now, having done this, you rewrite the expression. All right, maybe I should not have erased this part. So we are saying you take the factors of 6x squared, which is 2x, and the 3x. So next you rewrite the expression in terms of 2x and 5x. I mean 2x and 3x by simply adding them up to give you the middle term. All right, so in this case, rewriting this, then our working is going to look like this. So we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 is the same as x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. It's the same. Remember that 2x and 3x will give us the middle term. Then you group these into two. So you open brackets, x squared plus 2x and close brackets. All right. Add, again you open another pair of brackets, 3x plus 6. Then you look at each bracket, the terms in each bracket. You just appreciate that x is common here. So you take that x out. So you have x plus 2. And in the second bracket, you do the same. You look for the term which is common. So we have 3 3 can go into 3x and 6. So you take that 3 out. Then you have x plus 2. 3 into 6 goes 2 times. All right. Very important to note this technique. Then you have this bracket, which is just the same as this one. All right. So you write your expression now is going to look like you shall have the terms that are outside will form their own bracket. So you have x plus 3, and one of the identical brackets will also bring one bracket down here, so you have x plus 2. All right, therefore, when you factorized, x squared plus 5x plus 6 will give you x plus 3 and the x plus 2. All right, as the factors. So these are called the factors of the expression x squared plus 5x plus 6. You can do that with just any expression which is factorizable. The technique is basically the same. All right, let's look at this other example where we are told to factorize x squared plus 9x plus 14. The process is the same. So we have x squared plus 9x plus 14. So you take the first term, multiply by the last term. Multiplying these two will give you 14x squared. Then you rewrite this in two factors, which when you add will give you the middle term. So in this case, we have 2x and the 7x. When you multiply these two, multiply them out, they'll give you 14x. 2 plus 7, 2 times 7 is 14, x times x is x squared. All right, then when you check that, when you add these two, you get 9x, which is the middle term. All right, so in this case, we can now rewrite our equation as before. Our equation, therefore, is going to be, we shall group these terms. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 7x plus 14. Remember that the middle terms, when you add it up, they'll give you 9x. But when you multiply them out, they'll give you the product of the first and the last terms. All right, so then you group them in two pairs. So we have x squared plus 2x, close brackets, add 7x plus 14. And then you look for the terms that are common. So we have x, which is common, then you open bracket, x plus 2. Then the 7 is also common. So you take the 7 out, divide each term by the 7, you have x plus 2. Therefore, the terms, the two brackets from this will be x plus 7, which is made up of the terms that are outside, then x plus 2. All right, so we are saying when factorized, the expression now is going to be, x plus 2, then x plus 7. So these are the factors of the expression x squared plus 9x plus 14. All right, so the technique is the same. You can apply the same to factorize just any expression, quadratic expression, which is given. All right. So basically that's the technique. Let's consider this other example. We have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. All right, so you take the first term multiplied by the last term. So we have 2x squared times 3, which is 6x squared, 6x squared, 6x squared, all right? So we have 6x squared. All right. Once again, the products are 2x and the 3x. When you add these up, they'll give you the middle term, which is plus. But check that there is a minus sign here. So whatever the case we do, we should make sure that the sign is maintained. So in this case, instead of just multiplying 2x by 3x, we shall take the minus part. If you take minus 2x times minus 3x, you get 6x squared. Because a minus multiplied by a minus, it will give you 6x squared. But when you add them up, you add 2x, add minus 3x, you should be able to get the midterm, which is 5x minus 5x minus 5x. Very important. So in this case, once this is factorized, we can now factorize, go ahead, 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 3. Then you group these together, you have 2x squared minus 2x. Don't forget a square there, 2x. These will form one pair of brackets. Then minus we have minus 3x and minus 3. All right, so you look for factors that are the same. So you can see 2x is common, so you can take it out. And then we have x minus 1. Then a 3 is common, so you take it out. Then x minus 1 again. So that the terms now will be paired up. We have 2x minus 3. Will form the one bracket. And then the outer terms will also form their bracket. Okay, so in this case, we have taken the outer terms, which is 2x and minus 3, and then we have x minus 1. All right, so the two terms, therefore, are these ones. When factorized, you shall have 2x minus 3 forming one bracket, and the x minus 1 forming another term. Very, very important. All right. If this is the first time you have visited the channel, this is where you learn all the sciences, including mathematics, entirely for free. But in case you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me so that we can rectify where you might have missed something. All right, let's consider this other one. So we have 6 plus y minus 2y squared. Multiply the terms, first and last terms. So we have negative 2y, sorry, I beg your pardon. 6 times 2 is 12, so we shall have minus 12y squared. All right. The terms of minus 12y squared, which when you add or subtract, will give you the middle term, will be minus 4y and 3y. When you multiply these two, you shall get minus 12y squared. But when you add them up, let's say, let's take this as positive, 4y as positive, and then let's put negative there. So when you add them up, you have 4y minus 3y, which is equal to y. So we rewrite then our expression in terms of these two terms. All right. So rewriting this as grouped terms shall give us 6, open bracket, 6. Excuse me. We shall have 6 plus 4y minus 3y, then minus 2y squared. All right, so that's what we shall have. Then you pair them up. So pairing them up means 6 plus 4y, in this one, there in bracket, then minus 3y plus 2y squared. Then you factorize each bracket. Notice here that 2 is common. 2 can go into 6 3 times. 2 can go into 4. So you take 2 out. You shall have 3 plus 2y. Similarly here, 3 is common, or 3y is common. So you take 3y out. Sorry, it's not 3y that is common, but just y. All right. So take the y out. Then we shall have 3, then 2y. So the two brackets, therefore, once factorized, we shall have 2 minus y, and the other one will be 3 plus 2y. So that's what we shall have as the terms, as the factorized expression. All right, let's consider this. So we have 3x squared minus 6x minus 9. Take the last terms, add them up, multiply them. So we have minus 18x squared all right. The factors of these, first of all, let's look for common factor among these. You appreciate that the 3 here can go, 3 can go into 6, 3 can go into 9 3 times. So take that out first. So you have x squared remaining minus 2x, then minus 3. All right. So what now you need to do is to factorize the terms that are in brackets. So you multiply these two, it will be minus 3x squared, whose factors are going to be minus 3x, and the x. So rewrite the equation, the expression. So we shall have 3 open brackets, all right. Then we have x squared minus 3x, then plus x, then minus 3. So it is this expression now that we need to deal with. All right, so factorizing the brackets inside shall give us 3 open brackets, we shall have x out, then minus 3, and the other one will also form in brackets here, sorry, let me take you back. Yeah, so the final product, the final factors will be 3 open bracket x minus 3 plus times x plus 1. All right, so I'd like to leave you now. Before I go, I want you to work on these questions. We've looked at sufficient examples. So factorize the following quadratic expressions. So what you're going to do is you pause the video and work on this and submit your answers. Just take a picture of your answers to the number 0884341022 or 09812585577, whichever is convenient for you. So pause the video and work on these questions and share with me the responses. My name once again is Mr. Pochilolo. Bye bye for now.